Here's Johnny.
Welcome to my nightmare.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Let me play with this, Daddy.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Fear Freaks Podcast. I'm Braden.
I'm Destiny.
And we are the Fear Freaks. Destiny is very confused because she is having trouble. Your speakers must suck on your phone because, I feel like everyone else can hear me. I just feel like it's always you. It's always a you thing. But What's up? What's up? How we doing?
Great. Would be better if I could fucking hear you properly. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm probably really close to it too.
Yeah, you're getting really freaking close to the speaker. I can see almost every detail of your makeup right now.
Oh God, don't look too close.
But what's going on, everyone? How is it going? Want to give a quick shout out. Gonna start doing this each week because it is in my Patreon description. But want to give a quick shout out to all the patrons of the channel. Thank you guys so much for being here, for supporting. If you guys would like to become a Patreon today, you guys can do so in the link below. So glad to have all the Patreon supporters. And welcome in tonight, guys. We got a fun show. We're talking about X. But before we get into X or anything like that, new thing I kind of want to start going through each week is Destiny. Is there any horror news? I know that we used to do this, but it's something that I want to kind of get back into doing, is talking about some news that's kind of going on in the industry that you find interesting or that you want to talk about. So and also thank you guys so much for clicking in on our faces and being here.
Any horror news? I don't fucking know. You kind of sprung this on me. There was no talking about this before.
Oh yeah, I know, but we were talking about other things before.
Did you know there's going to be a movie for Let the Right One In?
I didn't. No.
I saw that somewhere on... I was watching something on my phone the other day, and I got a trailer for it, and I was like, what the fuck? Because I haven't seen anyone talk about this. I haven't seen the original Let the Right One In. I've seen the remake of Let Me In, which I really enjoyed. But yeah, there's going to be another movie, so that's what I got.
Interesting.
There you go.
Hey, that's news to me. I had no idea. I haven't really looked on Bloody Disgusting today, so I don't know why. I guess I started that segment in this episode. It's something I could have just been I could have said something to you at the very end and just been like, oh yeah, hey Destiny, we're gonna start doing this again. But hey, whatever. Improvising's fun sometimes. I've been mostly paying attention to the fucking HBO Max situation that's going on right now. I don't know what the fuck's going on with them and all these canceled projects and shit that they've got up and coming. It's honestly fucking crazy. It's the executives. I don't know if you've heard about this or not. The whole HBO Max thing.
I saw a tweet earlier, but that's about it.
It's just apparently the Scoob Holiday Haunt got canceled and Batgirl got canceled, and the internet is fucking going crazy. And apparently they're setting up to cancel more projects. Now, my guess is that Discovery executives are just overstepping their power and coming. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but yeah, I'm just seeing a lot of shit on there. But hello to everyone that's in the chat. Also, if you guys are listening now on Spotify and iTunes in the future, welcome. Hope that you guys are enjoying the show. Now that I've actually finally updated Spotify and iTunes, to the best of my knowledge, I actually accidentally deleted some of the past ones, so there's only 4 new ones that came out. So some of the episodes are only live on YouTube or only now available on YouTube. I know I'm such a douchebag, right? Such a douche move to do. Just putting our Spotify and iTunes listeners just in the back.
I'm sure they are so upset.
They are so mad. Our whole 2 viewers that we have on Spotify and iTunes pissed off. They're like, where the fuck have these guys been? No, you guys can catch weekly episodes right here on this channel. So I'm glad to have you guys all in here. Lamontre, what is going on? Welcome in. How are you? Uncle Brock. Speaking of Brock, we got the $10 super chat to start off. Thank you so much. Let's get this stream let's start this stream off right. Yes, guys, I'm drinking right now. So
Let's get this stream
started.
Start right. Thank you,
let's-
Brock.
Thank you, Brock. We appreciate you, Uncle Brock. Good Real, what is going on? Welcome in.
Hey, Brett.
Let's see here. Ashton, what is up? Brock, thank you so much for reminding everyone to hit that like button. Yeah, get Fear Freaks more notice. The more thumbs up you guys give, the more noticeable that we will be on people's feed. And that's pretty much how the algorithm works. So why do you look so confused?
Because I can't fucking hear. Sorry. That was uncalled for.
God damn. What the fuck did I do?
I need to stop with that.
What the fuck?
It's like from TikTok and
yeah, I know that. I've heard that. I'm not on the lame side of TikTok, okay? Like, I mean,
I said that all convention and I was like, oh my god. Every time I saw like a Michael Myers, I was like, Ziam, and I was like, no, stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Denise, what is going on? My two
Hi, Denise.
favorites. But which one do you like more? Is the bigger question. Like, who's it gonna be? What team? Who? Yeah, I'm kidding. I mean, it's definitely gonna be you, Destiny. They fucking hate me. I mean, like, it's Team Destiny all day. Shaheem, what is going on? Welcome in. Ashton, if I didn't say hi to you already, didn't catch you already. Misael, what's going on? Let Me In is very, very good. Is that what you were talking about regarding the news that is up and coming?
Yeah, that's the American remake, which I also think the new one is going to be an American remake as well. But the Let Me In is really good. It has like Chloe Grace Moretz in it when she was like pretty young. It was a really good movie. I haven't seen it probably since it came out, but I really liked it a lot.
Yeah, I gotta actually see that. I've never seen it. So, Oh, Denise, yeah, how are we feeling about the Spirit Halloween movie? Did you see that trailer? Did you see the trailer? No. Oh, you didn't watch it?
No.
I think it looks like it's gonna be kind of fun. So, that's I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty excited for it. Look, Shaheem, she said no cap Destiny. I mean, it's like I don't even know why I ask to begin with, because I'm just like setting myself up for disappointment. Like, when everybody on the show picks you, and I'm just kind of here.
Braden, you're still cool.
Thanks, Destiny. I appreciate you trying to make me feel. You know what? I've got alcohol. I'm just gonna keep drinking, and we're gonna be okay. So,
cheers, brother.
Yeah, cheers. Did you do a virtual cheers? I'm sorry. There we go. Virtual cheers. Virtual cheer sesh. Best thing. Amazing. Julie, what's going on? Welcome in. Mud, how are you? Andy, how's it going? Menelect, SBC Bird, what's up, everyone? What is up? How's it going?
What is up?
I'm already starting to see some people's people. You guys don't got to make me feel like better, okay? If y'all are Team Destiny, you guys can say Team Destiny. It's okay. Don't worry about it. It's like some of them are like Team Braden, sorry, Destiny or whatever. But
who the fuck said that?
Well, let's pull it up. Let's see. Denise. Yep. Denise, Team Braden, sorry. Good Real actually says I'm Team Braden tonight. No one screams at my dude.
That's it. Just kidding.
Yeah, she was out. She's getting out of here. But no, nonetheless, we got a very, very fun show here tonight, guys. So definitely excited. Now, this was my first time watching X this past weekend. Watched it Friday night, had a great time. I actually did a double feature. If you guys follow me on socials, you guys probably saw I started off with John Wick Chapter 3. I had some tacos. I got a little alcohol in me before I started X. I was like, you know what? I feel like this is one of those movies where I'm going to need to have like some like fun with and everything. And I honestly do think that that's definitely part of the reason I enjoyed this movie so much, is just because like not only does this movie fucking scream like as a slasher fan, it's like everything about it is just like, holy shit, you can catch certain elements to this and this and this. It just felt like you were watching a 70s or 80s movies. Definitely more a 70s movie, if you ask me. I got more 70s vibes than I did 80s vibes, but I did catch on to certain references that was made. And I actually did see a lot. I fucking knew I was going to post on social media saying, hey, first time watch. And literally everybody and their mom started commenting like, dude, how are you just seeing this for the first time? Like, I thought that you would have seen this back when it came out. And I meant to, but I didn't. So first time watching me this past weekend. I bought it on Blu-ray. I pre-bought it on Blu-ray before I watched it. Ordered it on Amazon. And literally it was fucking, I loved it. So Destiny, what are your thoughts on X? You're already dressed as one of the characters from it. So give us, lay it all on us. So don't hold back.
So I did see this in theaters, and this was my most anticipated movie of the year besides Scream. But I remember seeing the trailer for this come out, and I was on Twitter at work, and I was like, oh, like, what is this? And I watched it, and I was like, oh my God. This looks amazing. I made one of my friends at work watch it. She's like, holy shit, this looks really good. And it's probably one of my favorite, like, newer trailers that's come out. Even though, like, yeah, it does show stuff in the movie. Like, it shows, you can kind of guess where certain things are going to go. It's just the music choice, the way that the intercutting of, like, the scream that, oh my God, hello. Don't say it. What's her name? Jenna Ortega. God, I can't believe I forgot her name. The scream that she does and the way it's like cutting in the trailer, I was like, I can't fucking wait to see this. So I did see it in theaters that Thursday. Probably one of my worst theater experiences I've ever had, which I was fucking pissed off because, like I said, most anticipated movie of the fucking year. We get there and there's a couple talking the whole time. Oh. The whole fucking time. Don't do that. No one wants to hear your commentary. No one asked for this. And there's more people than I thought there would be, just because it's a horror movie that's not a part of a franchise, you know? So I was like, oh, there's probably going to be like 3 people in there. There was like fucking 12 of us, and I was like, shit, I really kind of didn't want people to be there for this movie. I just wanted to watch it by myself. Mm-hmm. But I loved the movie. I feel like it lived up to my expectations. It kind of played out a little bit differently than I thought it would have, but I appreciated that. And I live in Texas. I love a good Texas horror movie. And I think everyone in the movie did a freaking great job. So,
I agree. I definitely agree. I mean, the cast of this movie, like, I mean, fuck. Like, we got Mia Goth, fucking Jenna Ortega, got fucking Kid Cudi in this fucking movie. I mean, like, Brittany Snow, you know, I'm not even gonna say what my favorite scenes were, because, like, I mean, Brittany Snow in this movie is amazing, like, in almost every aspect, perfection. So, but yeah, I mean, I loved it. I absolutely loved this movie. I thought that, like, you know, and then when I gave my online review, I posted just some general thoughts on it. Like, I actually saw more people saying that they didn't like it than they like, or I shouldn't say more people. I saw some people say that, oh, it's overhyped, or, you know, I think you're going a little too far. But I did say, I feel like that this is going to be one of those movies that is actually talked about in the horror genre for many years to come. Maybe it hasn't, maybe I said that comment too early. Maybe I just, like, you know, maybe I'm overstepping on it, but I truly do think that this is like a new slasher that will actually down the line, like, you know, be talked about in this community, in my opinion. I mean, like, it's not really original. It's got callbacks to a lot of, like, a bunch of different slashers, but it's original, like, in its own right, I guess. You know, like, I mean, like, the story is about, and yes, I did see Goodreel say that we are going to be talking about spoilers. So if you haven't seen this movie and you guys, you know, like, that should be a given. Any movie that we talk about here on Fear Freaks, we're pretty much going into detail. So if you want to see it, or if you guys don't give a shit, you guys are welcome to stay. If you guys want to see it, go elsewhere and then come back and listen when you've seen it. But yeah, like, the movie, it centers on a group of adult filmmakers that are trying to make a very good, like, really go outside of what an adult film pretty much normally is known as, right? Like, it's almost like, I kind of like how it, like, runs at the joke. Like, you watch, or you don't watch the whole plot of like a porno or something like that. But
Mhm.
they're like trying to exchange that to like where it's like a movie like where you watch the entire plot of the movie. And then they get to this farm. They're staying at this old couple's farm. Like they have an extra house. They don't know what the hell's going on, but then they figure out that they're doing this and they start killing them. And it's very bloody. And I liked it. And I liked it a lot.
Yeah. And I feel like that's just like the surface level of like what the movie is saying, you know, because like this movie, yeah, like face value, you're watching a bunch of people go make a porno and then get killed off one by one, like a slasher. But I feel like this movie has so much more to say about like growing old. That's a huge one. Not kind of doing what you really wanted to do when you're able to, and just like how people treat you as you get older and how you're looked at when you get older. So I feel like even though this is a slasher movie, I feel like there's so much more depth to it, which I really appreciate, that's something I kind of wasn't expecting going in. I was just looking to have like a fun time, and there's moments in the movie when I was watching it, like when they start singing Landslide, I like got really teary-eyed. I was like, oh my God, like I wasn't expecting to kind of get hit in this way. Or there's parts where I sympathize with Pearl that I wasn't expecting to, because, you know, like, yeah, she's going around killing a bunch of people, but she's also mad that she wasn't able to do what she really wanted to when she was able to. And now she sees all these younger people flaunting around their stuff, and she's envious of that can't be her, and she can't be touched the way she wants to because they're old.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, Howard's unable to fuck her, basically.
Yeah.
And that really upsets her. And I feel like you can see that, and it's like, damn, that sucks. And it makes you think, like, we're all going to get old one day. If we're lucky. If we're fucking lucky to get old.
Factual.
And that's scary. That's really fucking scary. I left the theater, I was like, shit. Oh
I know,
God.
you're like, fuck,
this,
dude. Like, it really does make you think. And I was kind of like thinking about that during the movie too. I was like, all this girl wants is she just wants to feel like she did when she was like young, like, you know, like that's it. So I mean, it really does put a perspective in your mind. Goodreal says, look at my last comment with my ex experience. So he says, look. At least you had a full crowd, Destiny. I had to share it with only one other dude, and he sat in the back. Talk about being uncomfortable. So
I would have preferred that.
Yeah, I mean, what do you call it? Misael says he was the only one in his theater. Like, I mean,
I'm angry. I wanted to be the only one.
Well, I mean, you don't want to fucking see a movie like this and have people chatting about it. Like, you know, like commentary is not necessary. Did you say it was teenagers? Did you say
I don't know. I feel like they weren't teenagers. I feel like they were like, not like older, but I feel like they're probably like 30, 40. I'm like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Because
30, 40 years old and they're chatting the whole fucking movie.
Yeah. Because like because like Bailey bought dinner, so I bought our movie tickets and our snacks. So I paid like upwards $40, $50. And that's a couple. So we're about paying about that. I tweeted, like, why would you spend like $50 if it's two people to go see a movie just to fucking talk the whole time? And people are like, they don't have to be quiet. No, they don't have to, but it's called fucking like common courtesy. It's like a known thing that you're not supposed to talk in the fucking theater. Like, yeah. But yeah, I'm the problem. I'm the issue.
No, yeah, that's fucking crazy. I mean, like, it's like, now there are some movies, like, if the movie is like so fucking bad and I just don't care about it, like, you know, if I'm at a theater and I just don't care and I see somebody's phone light up, like, you know, I mean, it's not going to bother me. I've had a few of those theater experiences in the past, like, where it's like been me and like one other person in the theater, and like I always try and sit like in like one of the middle rows, you know. That's just like, I like to get like the full like like, I don't know, I just feel like when you sit like right in the middle, it's just awesome. But I have been in a few theaters like where I've been sitting in like the spot that I normally like to sit in, and I see somebody like take a few rows in front of me and I see their phones light up. And I've seen some bad movies. If that's the case, then fuck. I mean, I guess that's more interesting than what's going on screen. But no, in this particular movie, it's like, this was one of your most anticipated of the year. And I mean, this immediately bumped Pearl up on my list, like, for this year. I'm shocked we'll talk about Pearl like at the end and like because I actually haven't watched that trailer yet. I didn't want to watch the trailer until I saw.
Oh, that makes sense.
You know,
Yeah.
because so I actually honestly it's completely gone off of my radar. Like the trailer has at least, but the movie is at least up there now. And I'm debating if I even want to watch the trailer, if I should just not watch it and just kind of go in like blind. Because I really didn't remember. I've seen the trailer for this. I didn't remember anything from it because it was like earlier this year. So this whole movie really was like a big surprise for me. Like, you know, just kind of as I was like watching it, I'm like, fuck, like, holy shit, there's a gas station scene that's very much kind of like a gas station scene that we see in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And then even the van that they're driving is very Texas Chainsaw Massacre like. And I'm like, okay, so this is Texas Chainsaw. Then they get to the house, more Texas Chainsaw. Then they're staying in a miniature house that kind of looks like a cabin. I'm like, okay, this is Friday the 13th. You know, there was a huge Shining reference towards the end of the movie, which I caught on to. It was a spitting Shining reference. I was like, this is the Shining. And then like, yeah, I mean, there was just like so much about the movie that was just like throwing all these different slashers in, and I was like, I'm so in for this. And like my buddy Misael was fucking texting me, and he's like, dude, like he was just waiting for my text like to get those references, and he was like, dude, Braden's gonna fucking freak out with like all these like references. He was like, holy shit. So yeah, I mean, but I definitely loved it. I thought the acting, everyone did great. Now I will say everyone did great, even though when the movie was being made, like by the filmmakers, the acting was definitely more cheesy than the main acting, and it felt like you were watching like an adult film, like, you know, like that. But that's to be expected. That's what I mean. Like that was good because like I'm like, these guys are trying to go outside of making it what an adult film is. But it's literally, I mean, I have no experience watching anything like that. So, you know, like absolutely none. I almost feel like I'm selling myself out right now. Yeah, like, is that how they're supposed to act in movies like that?
That's how people have sex.
Interesting.
Wow.
So interesting. Like, I was just fascinated the whole time. I'm like sitting there. I'm like, I got my notepad. I'm taking notes. Like, okay, so this is what I should make my next movie to be like. You know?
Yeah, exactly. And you know, they talk about in that gas station scene, they're talking about like Debbie Does Dallas, and this is at the time when like these sort of movies were in theaters, and that's why they're like, because they work at like a strip club. I'm assuming we see it a little bit at the very beginning, but they're talking about like Debbie Does Dallas, and they're talking about, you know, like that movie made so much money, and if this is like the new thing that's starting to happen is porn, we can do that. And I really like, you know, RJ, he's kind of annoying a little bit. It's like I can see, you know, when he gets upset, I can see why, but also I don't think it's fair that he's upset because hypocrite. Anyways, but, you know, he's really trying to make something that's different. He really wants to, like, he wants to make it avant-garde because it's fancier, like the shit they do in France. And I love everyone's accent in this because everyone has like a really like soft like Southern accent and stuff. I'm like, oh, my accent doesn't sound like that. They're all like, meh. But just hearing everyone talk in a Southern accent, it made my heart so happy, especially Mia Goth. If you've ever seen her in an interview, it's not how she sounds. She has like an English accent, but she's also very like frantic when she talks. And then I watched her interviews after I saw the movie, and just to see how completely different she was, I was like, wow, like she did a really great job because she has an accent and you can't tell at all. And I absolutely love Jenna Ortega's accent because, again, it's a very soft sort of Southern accent. Just hearing everyone talk, I was like, wow, this feels like home.
Yeah.
I just loved it.
I'm not gonna lie, like because like sometimes like when like your Southern accent, like in some of our streams, mostly in our like drinking streams, your accent for sure 100% comes out. Like it's like out there for a fact. But like in this one, I was honestly kind of like, dude, like she definitely has like Destiny's like Southern Texas accent, like, you know, like right now. And speaking of which, I cannot be the only one that thought that Mia Goth and fucking Jenna Ortega looked alike in different sequences. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the opening frame of this movie, I thought it was Jenna Ortega. Are you serious? I'm the only one? There's no way.
Why? Because they have brown hair?
No, they just have similar looks. Like, here, I've got IMDb pulled up right now, and I'm gonna, like, I mean, this doesn't look a little bit like Jenna Ortega to you? Like, not even a little bit? This is from the opening scene of X. Are you serious?
No.
Not even this? Doesn't look like Jenna Ortega at all.
Maybe a tiny bit in that one.
Because, like, I mean, here's Jenna Ortega, and then there's, like, I mean, like, I can't, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. I thought that she looked like Jenna Ortega just a little bit, but, you know, that's, I guess I said that live, so I guess we'll see how many other people agree or just want to call me a fucking idiot. But there are some frames where I actually thought that they look like, honestly, if they played sisters in a movie, I can see them playing sisters. Like, you know, like that's
I could see that, yeah.
Like, that's all I'm trying to say. Like, that's why I felt like, I mean, even like the shot of her in the water, like when she's like looking like towards the dock, I thought that she looked like Jenna Ortega a little bit. I can't be crazy. I cannot be the only one. So, Chad says that looks like Mia Goth. That's because it is Chad. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So, Good Real says not at all. Okay, so I'm alone. I'm alone on this.
You probably just have like facial blindness or something, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I do because I said that live, and now I can't go back and cut that out or anything because that's just going to take too much work. So,
yeah.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, I'm alone on that. Doesn't look like it. All right, Destiny. So, what else do you like about X?
I just love like, so whenever I watched it, I feel like I really like Max's character really like resonated with me because a lot of things she was saying, I was like, damn, yeah, I agree with her. When she's sitting there saying like she's tired of being patient, she's been patient her whole life, and she's like she has cosmopolitan taste. I was like, damn, because like growing up, I was like, shit, this is how I'm living right now. This is not what I want in my life, and I still feel that way. I mean, but watching it, I was like, wow.
In terms of what?
Huh?
In terms of what? Sorry.
Just in terms of just not being happy with your life, and you know you can do better, and you know there's better out there for you, but it's just what do you have to do in order to make that happen, you know? And for her, this is her big break. She wants to do these movies so everyone will know her name. I'm not saying I want everyone to know my name. I'm saying, especially because like the movie starts off in Houston, which I'm from Houston. I just say the Houston area. But so that was pretty cool starting off. I was like, oh my God, Houston. Hi, that's like me. And then the whole time she's talking and you can tell like she really has a desire to make something from nothing. And I feel like that's how I feel. Because like I come from nothing. And hopefully someday I can make myself into something. But watching her and just watching, you know, the way the story plays out, I was just like, damn. I feel like I really connected to her character out of everyone the most. Because like everyone has their dreams, but she just wants to make it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really it. She just wants to make it. Because I love the whole part when they're talking at the gas station with Bobby Lynn. And, you know, he's like, do you want to be wearing like a hard hat? And she's like, no. Because that's what they don't want to do. They don't want to have to wear a hard hat or go to your typical job. They want more in life than that. And it's like, that's how I feel. I don't want to just work a 9 to 5 every single day. That sounds kind of terrible for me. I don't want to do that. I work a 6 to 3 every day. And I don't like that. Yeah. So, you know, it's just knowing there's something out there for you. It's just, what are you going to do in order to make that happen?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, this movie like has that message that like, you know, you like want something so badly. And it's like, yeah, she like, I mean, that's her line in the movie is she will not sell for the life that she doesn't deserve. And I mean, like, she says that a couple times in this movie, and that is true. Like, you got to be willing to do whatever it takes, and even if it starts, like, I mean, even RJ wants to make this award-winning film, and he's trying to do his best to, make this happen. He gets a little sidetracked when fucking his girlfriend Lorraine literally just shocked the shit out of me. By the way, too, like, I mean, like, I was like sitting there, and then she's like, "I want to be in the movie," and I was like, "Huh?" Like, and then I said that it was like my reaction pretty much went along with the cast's reaction. Like, they all just started like looking like at her, and then RJ was like, "Wait, what?"
What?
She's like, I want to be. Yeah, I want to be in the movie. And I mean, even her saying that, like, she said that it was almost like she was like kind of now playing off of their personalities, because it's like they were all doing this for the reasons because they wanted to make it. RJ wanted to make it as a filmmaker. What do you call it? Bobby Wynn wanted to make it as an actress, and so did Maxine, is Mia Goth's character. They all wanted to make it as, like, actresses in these movies. And then now it's like Lorraine didn't just want to be behind the camera. She wanted to be on camera if this movie was actually going to be that big. Unfortunately, the movie's never going to... Well, actually, because at the end, the police, they say, I did like that last line of the movie. Like, when he goes, like, I found this, like, down in the house. What do you think's on it? Well, based on the look of here... one fucked up horror picture. I did love that line a lot. But I mean, so the footage will probably be seen, but which I wonder how that's gonna go at the police station when they just like pulled all this up. They're like, wait, huh? Like, this is what these kids were doing, like, down here.
Yeah, and also with Lorraine, like, I really love Lorraine's character because you can tell she's really hesitant on everything they're doing. Like Maxine is saying, like, all she does is stare. She doesn't say anything. And she seems really, like, judgmental at first. She even asks RJ, like, why are you doing this? And he, like, states his reasoning, like, he wants to make a movie. And you can see, like, her loosening up a bit, especially when she's watching Mia Goth's scene, her sex scene. She's like watching it, and you can tell she's like kind of into it. She's like intrigued by it. And when it comes to that scene, which I knew that was coming because it was in the trailer for like a split second. I was like, oh God, because I was nervous because Jenna Ortega is still very young. She's really young, and I know there's some fucking weirdos out there because I saw the Letterboxd reviews. She didn't even like get naked. You don't need to see her naked. It doesn't matter if she was, because I see 17 is when she filmed it. I'm pretty sure she was 18 because I know she got the call for it during the filming of Scream 5. And I don't know if this was like before or after like the pandemic, because they kind of like went back and shot that first scene towards the end.
She is 19 right now. I do know that. So.
And she just turned 19. And so she was either 17 or 18. I think she was 18 when they filmed this, which is still gross. Like, she's freshly 18, like, don't be fucking weird.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie.
Even if it's legal, it doesn't matter.
That's what a lot of people actually did. Now, I know you haven't seen Game of Thrones, but anyone in the chat here that's seen Game of Thrones, like, they did that for Arya Stark in Game of Thrones. It's like season 8 came out. There was a huge sex scene with her. And it's like, we watched her grow up on this show. It's like, she was like it's like she was a character that was like so young when the show started. And then all of a sudden, like, we have a sex scene with her in season 8. And it's like, and I watched, like, remember the pitch meeting I showed you? The guy that does the pitch meetings for like Halloween. He did one for Game of Thrones season 8. And then like, he was like pitching the idea to the executive. And he was like, oh my God, is she even 18? He goes, I don't know, but that's something that's definitely going to be something that people Google. So, like,
I just find it so weird. Like, because I remember tweeting about that because I was seeing those Letterboxd reviews, and I was like, if you're fucking mad that a just now 19-year-old didn't get naked in a movie when she was probably just 18 when she filmed it, you have a problem. Because and people are like, it's legal. I don't care. It's barely legal because she barely is legal. Like, it's still fucking gross.
Yeah. No,
And
I mean,
you got
I
crazy
definitely get
sex scenes
that.
as it is. You don't need to see her fully naked too. And if you wanted to see that,
Yeah, I definitely get that. Like, you know, for sure. Good Real here says, you already made yourself a great and talented person in Destiny. Keep being you.
thank you.
I agree, and so does Andy. So totally agree with you.
Y'all are too sweet.
No, I'm trying to catch up here with the chat a little bit too. So you know that way. I mean, guys, you guys again, as always, the chat's like having some great conversations in here. So keep it up. Keep up all the great chats. Brock says, Destiny, I'm reminded daily on how inconsiderate people are to other people trying to enjoy an experience. This is back when we were talking about the movie going experience.
Literally.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
annoying.
Definitely
People
agree to
can't
that.
just be happy. Oh, another thing about Lorraine is in that moment, which I watched Spooky Astronauts, who's like one of my favorite YouTubers. She was talking about, she made a really good point I didn't even think about, you know, like a lot of people are so for sex work and like, yeah, like go out there and do it until they know the person. You know what I mean? And then it becomes weird. And I feel like that's exactly what happens because Lorraine decides, you know, she wants to be in it. And he's like, well, you can't. It's my movie. And then, like she says, like, well, people are coming here to see tits and ass and a really big dick. So let's just give them what they want. And he's like, well, which I fucking love this because it's like, it's meta. It's like, y'all see what we're doing here? It's like the script can't just change in the middle of the movie, which is exactly what's about to happen because you're watching this sort of just funny, like raunchy, not comedy, but in a way, a little bit of a comedy play out. And then it flips and then people start dying. So it's like a good like wink at the camera, like, oh, we're doing exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But he's so for it and seeing all these other girls do it up until it's his girlfriend. And then that's when it becomes a problem. And when she said that, I was like, wow, that's actually like a really good point because I feel like that's how people are when it comes to sex work. Like everything is fine until you actually know the person. And then you want to make it weird. But if it's someone that you don't even know, you're like, okay, cool. I get to see tits. But then if it's someone you know, you're like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Why would you do that to yourself? And there's that part, which I kind of wish Wayne, wouldn't have said, you know, I want to tell you something like none of them are nice girls. Because, like, I feel like they are nice girls. Like, I feel like they are actually nice people. And, yeah, they're, like, making pornos. But, like, that doesn't matter. Just because you do that doesn't make you a bad person, you know? And I really like how all the nudity and all the sex stuff, it doesn't feel like it's a lot. And you're seeing a lot. But whenever I watched it, like, I was never uncomfortable by it, you know? I was like, this is just happening. Like, this is just it. And there's even this scene with Bobby Lynn when they're, like, having sex. It's, like, the first one. And then Mia Goth's character is just, like, walking by the window. And you can see them fucking through the window. And it's just normal. I was like, wow, I really like that. And I don't know if you've watched Maya Hawke's new music video called Dress. It's really good. And the whole point of the video, because there's like nudity in it and stuff, and she's topless, but it just seems so normal, and people are like, oh my god, like I saw her tits, oh my god, I can't believe like she did that, and like whatever. But like that's like the whole point of the music video is like they're just boobs. Like this is just people just do this, like it's fine. It doesn't always have to be so like, oh my god, like boobs are boobs, and that's fine. It doesn't always have to just be so like overly sexualized, I guess, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's how a lot of this movie is. When everything's happening, like it just seems normal. It doesn't seem like weird. And then the whole part afterwards, whenever Lorraine's talking about like, well, what about like love? They're like, what about love? It's like, don't y'all love each other? It's like, just because we're doing this doesn't mean we don't love each other. We can't be in love. Because this is just normal to them. Because it's just normal. They aren't weird about it afterwards. They're all just chilling, eating some sandwiches and singing. And it's just normal.
Literally.
And I really
mean, like,
appreciated that.
I mean, that's pretty much how life goes, like, after any sexual act, period. It's like, you know, you're engaged in this activity and then you just chill afterwards.
It's just
like,
normal.
I mean, it's just a normal. You move on with your fucking life. That's it.
Exactly. And
So-
they're talking about, like, you know, like I said earlier, like at some point you're gonna get too old to have sex.
Mhm.
You're literally not gonna be able to do it, and that's just kind of what happens, and that does suck.
And that's why Howard can't. He's on. It's because of his heart. Like he even like he tells Pearl that he can't, and it does upset her. It's like, and she's just like she more seems like even like so. We also find out the reason like why she's like following Maxine and why she's following all of like what's going on, and is because she's like attracted to the way Maxine looks. I mean, like she fucking she hates Bobby Lynn. Like I love like that comment at the end, like when
I
he's
don't
like,
like
"Is that
blondes."
yeah?" I don't like blondes. Like, I was like, "Huh? Excuse me, come again?"
Excuse me, bitch.
So yeah, it's like you could like see that like the reason she's like following her is because she's like attracted to just the way that she looks, and like even that conversation with her, it's like she says like I was like young once and like did this, and like she like that conversation was it was just unsettling, and this movie is very unsettling, and that's honestly what I do really like about it is like it really does get under your skin in some of these dialogue scenes. It's not even horrific scenes, and I mean we definitely still have to talk about the kills because some of the kills in this movie is fucking amazing. And the makeup work too. Holy shit. Some of the makeup work here is like some of the best makeup I've seen in a movie all year. I mean, fucking Stephen who fucking plays Howard, his makeup, like I mean, even like when he fucking steps out on the porch and like Jackson goes, "God, that is one fucking ugly looking motherfucker."
Yeah.
Or like whatever the
Some
fuck he
bitch.
says. Yeah, that is one ugly son bitch.
Yeah, because that guy, he is in another movie I love that we should watch or talk about at some point called Deathgasm. I love that movie. And I was like looking at everyone else's credits to see what else they've been in, and I was like, Deathgasm, I don't remember him in that. And then I saw what he looked like in Deathgasm. I was like, oh, that makes sense because he looks so different. And Mia Goth fucking plays Pearl.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. Which, going into it, I had kept seeing stuff about her playing Pearl, and anytime I would see it, I would try to like scroll past it because like I don't want to know that.
Yeah.
I was just gonna watch it, but then I was watching it, and I was trying not to really look for it because I was like just watching it, and then there was a certain scene whenever Pearl's getting into bed with Maxine, and because like Mia Goth, because she doesn't really have eyebrows, she has them, but they're really faint, and there's like a shadow on her like forehead. I was like, this is Mia Goth. I fucking know it because I could tell by her like arch right here in her eyebrows. Like, this is her. Well, she did a fucking great job. That's amazing.
I know she does. Like, I mean, she does a fucking great job. I mean, like, it's almost like unnoticeable, like the makeup work and everything. Like, I mean, even the guy that fucking plays Howard, like, I mean, he looks like just like a regular, like, mid 40s, like early 50s dude. Like, I mean, but like the makeup just makes him look so like just creepy and so beat down and everything. Like, I mean, it's some of the best makeup work I've seen in a movie this year. Like, and that's just in a movie period. Like, I mean,
yeah, and like the kills in it were fucking great too. Like, I was so excited because I remember watching the trailer and you see a part where Pearl is stabbing and it's like this, and all you see is her hand and it's like everything's red. I was like, I can't wait to see like what this scene is, which I knew it was going to be RJ just because the way the trailer plays out, it's him. But I was like watching it, and when he first gets stabbed, even though I knew he was a goner, when he first gets stabbed, like the whole theater was like, oh my God, because it just kind of comes out of nowhere. And then again, she's trying to like fill him up basically, and he's like, whoa, like don't touch me. She's like, why can't you even look at me? And he was like, this is not happening. And then she gets mad and fucking stabs him, but she just like keeps like going to town on his neck to where like his head is severed, and you could tell she's like getting off on it, like she's feeling sexual release from murdering him. And I was like,
You're like, okay. So, I mean, that makes me more excited to see Pearl's backstory now, because it's like she's getting like excited about this. So I'm definitely excited about that. Fauci, what's going on, man? Hey guys, what's going on? Talking X, a beloved movie of 2022, and I'm over here like, but I appreciate everyone's tastes. So, Fauci was not he did comment on one of my posts this week saying he also wasn't a big fan of it. There are some people that didn't really enjoy it too much. But yeah. Bland sandwiches, they really were bland. They were just like meat and bread.
And that meat was thick as hell. Look, don't get me wrong. When I ate meat, oh my God, I fucking love. And that's like another thing I really loved about this. When they're going grocery shopping, they're like buying just like simple things. Cause like, they don't have a lot of money. They're all pretty, I'm sure, broke. And they just buy some fucking Wonder Bread and they buy a thing of like ham to cut up themselves. Not even like pre-cut ham. And they're just eating it. I'm like, wow. You really just like something about a sandwich during the summertime. It just hits different, man. I was like, there's just so many little parts of the movie that I'm like, wow, this is really good. Just like little touch to make it feel normal, to make it not feel so much like a movie,
Yeah.
And I absolutely love the scene after Maxine's and Jackson's like sex scene when she like they're playing like Loretta Lynn, like the Act Naturally, and she's kind of like dancing throughout the halls. I'm like, wow. Because she's like happy with what she just did, and she's proud, and I freaking love it.
Yeah, no, I mean, and then they have "Don't Fear the Reaper" playing in that scene too. That's what Good Reel just posted.
Dude.
"Don't Fear the Reaper" enhances any horror movie. I loved it. As soon as it started playing, I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
It's like the same feeling I had in Scream 5 when they start playing Red Right Hand. As soon as I heard them when it turned on, I was like, oh my God, here we fucking go. And I love that scene when Pearl is killing him and then she stands up and she's like in the spotlight, which she's in the headlights, but she's in the spotlight, which again, the usage of the blood covering it to make everything red, fucking beautiful. And it starts playing the Wee Wee Marie song and she's like dancing and she like has her own little moment. And then I like that music fades out and it's still playing Don't Fear the Reaper.
Mm-hmm.
But like in her head in that moment, she's in the spotlight. Like this is her moment, which I freaking love. And, knowing that Mia Goth played Pearl as well, I feel like that also kind of gives you like is she, because I feel like it can be played through different ways. Like, is she like actually like attracted to her, like sexually attracted to her? Is she attracted to her energy? Is she envious of what she can do? And then when you get to the very end and you find out that Maxine is actually the preacher's daughter that's been going off this whole fucking time, they watch that because that plays on endless repeat. Does she recognize that this is that girl? And she's kind of like looking at her. Like, I feel like there's so much all around that's like, and we don't really know exactly. Does she see herself in her? Because
I'm not going to lie to you. Now, I could be a little crazy, but like, like how like the final shot of The Shining is like that image and it's like the caretaker, it's like Jack Torrance and it's like, was he there the entire time and everything like that? I feel like that this again was kind of a Shining reference because it's like, it's been interpreted for literally decades what that final shot of that movie means. Yeah. And I feel like that can kind of be interpreted here, like when like the camera kind of like pans over and you see that, right? Like it's like, what the fuck does it like? What does that mean? It's like kind of open for it's like open for your own interpretation. And I definitely can see like what you mean. Like do like maybe they recognize that this is her, but like why would they do all these awful things, right? Like what is the reasoning behind it? We don't really know, Like, and I'm hoping that Pearl gives us a little bit more of these answers to, I mean, at least the younger version to know, like, okay, so she's always been a psychopath. Obviously, the first time when she kills RJ and she gets like the sexual like pleasure of that, like she stabs and then she's like she like does like the whole motion, and I'm just like, what?
Yeah, and we know this isn't her first time because whenever I was watching it again earlier, there's that scene in the gas station where which in the theater I couldn't read anything because it happened so fast, but it shows the pin board of everything. And so this time I made sure to pause on it, and there's like 4 different like missing people. Like you don't see them, but you see like missing person. And then you know, Lorraine goes down into the basement inside their house because she's looking for RJ, and she finds that guy tied up naked, and then that's when we get that fucking amazing scream. And there's a whole part with the beetle in the water, make love not war, on the back. So like we know they're not the first people to do this to. Like they have been doing this, because I'm sure this is the way she releases sexual tension. Which I saw one Letterboxd review, which was pretty funny. It was like, if she would have just had a vibrator,
right?
probably none of this would have happened.
Probably. I mean, shit, she could have just done it to herself. Like,
exactly.
I mean, but like, I mean, even the fucking scenes, like when she's like the just some of the music cues in this movie, just it gives you the fucking.
And it's like the moaning.
Yeah, like I mean, yeah, like when she's like sitting there and like brushing her hair in the mirror and stuff like that. Like I mean, like, and the music is playing, and you're just sitting there and you're just like, ugh, like, you know, and I mean, oh, go ahead.
Oh, like one of the Chelsea Wolf, I don't know exactly how to say it, but she's the one that does like the music for this, like all these like noises that you're hearing, and like like it's her. She sings that cover of Wee Wee Marie whenever Pearl is dancing. It's just so good. It's so unsettling, and it's weird because you're like, these definitely sound like moans, but you don't know exactly what's going on, and they're not coming from people. It's just a soundtrack, but she has some really good music. You should check out her other stuff. I listen to some of it at work, and I really like her music. It's just very, I don't know how to describe it. It's just really good. So check out her music. I really like it.
I'll have to. I mean, just this whole movie, I mean, now like we got to start getting into the kills now, because I mean, some of these kills are absolutely awesome. Like, I mean, like when like RJ's kill was definitely classic horror. It was just like a classic slasher, you know. But like, I mean, fuck, I feel like the one, like, I want to talk about this scene first because it's just been in my head ever since I fucking saw it. And it's Lorraine when she gets locked into the fucking cellar, and she takes that axe and starts like hitting the door. Again, clear Shining reference. But like, what I was not expecting, because fucking Howard was like down by that fucking he was outside. I was not expecting him to fucking come in and just fucking literally start whacking at her fingers. Like, now The Shining, how it plays out is we know that Wendy takes the knife and just slashes at Jack's hand, and there's just like a cut, and he's like, ah, you know, but here, like, fucking her fingers like are like hanging.
Her bones are like coming out, and her fingers are like hanging.
It is fucking gross. Like, it's really, I mean, nasty. It is. It like literally is just sitting there, and like my fingers were like clenching up just like watching that, because like you could like see it like hanging, and I don't know if like that was just like like I don't know if like on action like he just told her to like dangle him as she's like freaking out, but I mean like they genuinely like, oh, so good, like that.
It looks so good. And what I love with like upon rewatch, like a lot of their deaths are kind of foreshadowed, like Bobby Lynn, whenever they first leave like the strip club, you have a blonde girl who is like holding her boobs, and it's kind of like that salt thing, or I think with like with the diaper and the dog like pulling off the diaper, but it's an alligator pulling off like her like bottoms. Bobby Lynn gets fucking eaten by an alligator, which I like in this movie as well, because there's moments where it's like checks off gun in the beginning, but we know that the gun is not loaded. And so the whole time in my head, I was like, that gun's not loaded, and I know it's going to come back into play, and it's not fucking loaded, and that's going to suck. Same thing with the alligator. You think that Mia Goth's character, which I was like, she's not going to get fucking attacked by an alligator. But we know there's an alligator there. We know it's there. So whenever fucking Bobby Lynn goes into that water, it's like, oh shit. And then it does like the death roll. I was like, and I love that part too, when she's sitting there, because she's nice, you know. She is like, oh, don't worry about it. Like, my grandma gets confused too. And she fucking slaps her. And then it's like that southern thing. You fucked up now. She's like, and I was just trying to be nice. And then she gets fucking pushed into the water.
As soon as like they reversed, as soon as Bobby Lynn was like standing on the edge of the dock, I'm like, she's fucking getting pushed in the water.
She's going
like,
in there.
I mean, some of the kills, I am not gonna lie, I did think that Jackson was actually gonna take the alligator. I thought that
which I like that too.
I thought that he was going to be the one to get eaten by the alligator. As soon as he saw the light in there, I was like, maybe right here, like, you know, because I saw somebody comment on my post saying that, oh, the lake scene is the best kill scene, like you'll know when you see it. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, he's going in the water right now, like, you know, I see the flashlight, which was obviously set up, I'm sure, for the alligator to, you know, get him, but the alligator was elsewhere doing its own thing or whatever. So yeah, like that's when I thought it was going to happen. But then as soon as that didn't happen, I'm like, okay, like now what? And then I'm like, well, there goes Bobby Lynn. She's walking out, and then she sees Pearl. I'm like, okay, here it comes. I'm like, at the end of the dock, she's standing at the edge of the dock, clear as day. This is happening. So, and it did. So
yeah, and again with Jackson's death scene, when they first get there to like the little house, you know, because he like was in Nam, and he was like, I've had enough people like shooting at me. You know what I mean, old timer? He gets shot. He said it himself right there. So there's a lot of those moments where if you like watch it, you're like, oh, they foreshadowed a lot of their deaths. And then I love Lorraine's death, even though again, it's like in the trailer, but you barely see it. But I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure that's Jenna Ortega's character, because you have Maxine that gets Lorraine out. And you know Lorraine's about to die because she's doing one of those horror movie things where like they're overly panicking and she's like freaking the fuck out and she's like, I hate you, I should have never come here. And then as soon as she walks out that door, fucking right into the face. And then she just put on that fucking floor. And the makeup effects when they drag her back in and she kind of like coughs and like blood goes everywhere, and then that gives Howard his heart attack, which he said could happen, foreshadowed. Didn't happen when they were banging, but he did have a heart attack.
Dude,
and
that
I love,
scene was so disturbing to me. Like, I was just like, what in the fuck?
See, I didn't even think it was disturbing when I was just like,
I don't know, like I guess I get a little weirded out by it, but I mean, like, I don't know. I was just kind of like, like, you know, okay. Like, it was like the super like wide shot, like on the bed. It's like, okay, here we go, folks. Yeah, here we go, folks. And action. Go ahead and start thrusting right there. So
thrust.
And act like you're on heart meds too. Like, you know, I mean, it can't be easy to do. Like, you gotta act like, you know, you can't do it, but be able to actually participate. I don't know. It's fucking weird. So, I mean, I've never had to direct a sex scene in a movie. So.
Oh, and I found out there's things called like intimacy coaches, which I think is like sort of newer. And it's for sex scenes, which they obviously worked with one for this. Yeah. That's where I found out about it, that they worked with them. I was like, wow, that's really interesting, because I didn't know that was a thing. And they like help you make sure like you're comfortable like with what you're doing. They'll like constantly ask, like, is this okay? Like, are you comfortable? Like, do you still want to do this? Which I find, you know, comforting, because these sex scenes, like, even though like I don't think they're like necessarily like gratuitous, they are pretty like, I guess, explicit.
Yeah.
Even though like I've seen the Friday 13th remake scene, which is pretty similar to Mia Goth scene because she's on top of him, but there's like a lot that is going into these sex scenes. And whenever I found out they worked with the intimacy coach, I was like, wow, that's actually like, that's really cool. Like that's a thing now. Yeah. That way it's not so awkward and it helps you feel not so like pressured. And like, it doesn't matter what the directors say. Like, they will come. It's like, I don't care what they're saying. Like, are you okay with this still? Mm-hmm. I'm like, yeah, it's fine. Like, okay, cool. Just gotta make sure. Which I was like, that's really cool that that's a thing, because I can only imagine it's probably a little bit nerve-wracking. Yeah. Probably a lot of it nerve-wracking to do something like that, because you're having a fake sex. You're fully exposed. You have to be moaning at fucking max volume. Yeah. So I was like, wow, that's really cool. I like that they do that now. Yeah. No, I mean, it definitely is like to make sure everyone is, and I think that any good set, like, you know, would do that, especially a movie like at this level. Like, apparently one of the things like with the 50 Shades sets is like there was no chemistry between the two actors, like when they were doing those scenes. Wow. In those movies. Tell.
Like, well, yeah, right. Like, I mean, just even like them together on screen was just like super over the top weird. Like, like, yes, people, for those of you that are like, did Braden see 50? Yes, I've seen 50 Shades. Like,
I've seen all of them, and I read the books.
See, I haven't read the books, but I know I saw the first 2 movies. I don't think I saw the last one. But
I saw the first one with my boyfriend at the time on Valentine's Day, because that was our anniversary, on Valentine's Day in the theaters with him.
yeah.
And my pawpaw and his wife were there, but we did not sit together.
Jesus Christ. Well, yeah, thank God, right? Like, I mean, fuck. But yeah, like it's just like, and it shows, like, and I mean, even hearing the actors talk about it, like, I feel like spending some time together and getting to know each other and kind of almost knowing each other like you've known each other for years is probably the best way to go about handling those scenes, because it's like you're about to be doing something to where you have to, in a performance, make it seem like, I mean, in this movie, it's a bit different, but in a movie like 50 Shades, it's like, you have to act as if like, I don't know how to really describe it because of how like messed up it is. Like, because the guy is super into this thing and like he's trying to pleasure this girl or whatever, but it's just weird. But in a movie like X, it's like they're making a porno, so it's like, you can be a little bit more, like, you could have a little bit more fun with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I feel like that these actors working together, and I'm like, I thought that all of their chemistry seemed really good in this movie.
I would love to fucking watch a movie of just them going about their day. I would watch that so fast. And that's like something I saw like a good amount of people praise it for, is just like the characters themselves are just good. And I was like, at times I forgot I was watching a horror movie before everything goes south, because I was like, I just love these characters and I love how normal they feel and how like sure they are of what they're doing, and they just seem like a lot of fun. They just seem like a fun group of people to be around.
Yeah,
and it freaking sucks when they die.
Exactly. It is definitely a slow burn, like, I mean, the first like real act, I mean, RJ's death doesn't happen for like an hour and 4 minutes into the movie. So it's like you are in a way establishing these characters, because like, while we don't get to know so much about like who they were before this, like, they're all just trying to do a job, really. I mean, they're all just trying to make a movie, and they're all just trying to get their work done that they need to do so that they can go on with their lives. So,
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously that's cut short when all this shit. And another thing I really like is that this movie only takes place during the course of one day and one night. Like, it's like they're on the road, they get there, they set up to pretty much fucking get started, and they start it, and they get a lot done for a day. I'm not gonna lie. Like, they get a lot of scenes done in one day. I'm like, shit, here I am just like, am I making movies wrong? Because like, normally I have to light the scene and fucking like,
You're doing too much.
I mean,
Doing
right?
too much.
Like, fucking, we have to light it, we have to do this and that. I mean, they clearly have the sound, they have the boom operator and everything, but yeah, I mean, and then the nighttime comes and voila, people are starting to die left and right. RJ gets killed, then fucking Wayne gets killed. I liked Wayne's death because it was like a classic Friday vibe, if you ask me. It's like he's like peeking his eye through. I'm like, something's coming through that fucking.
Yeah.
I'm like, you see it, or you're like, I will say some of the kills were pretty predictable, which is like why I'm like, he's going to the barn, and I was like, it's like, Friday the 13th part 3 callback here, is it? Like,
I love the part when he first walks into the barn. He's just like, RJ, are you in here, brother? Something about that makes me laugh so fucking hard. You in here, brother?
Yeah, you in here, brother?
You in here, brother?
I mean, Wayne, he's a likable guy. I mean, like, I'd say
I do like him.
Fun. Seems fun. He seems like a fun individual.
Dude, the fucking part after they film Bobby Lyndon Jackson's sex scene, and he's like, oh, again, people's eyes are going to pop out of their damn skulls when they see this. He gets in the eye. And I love when he's talking to RJ, and he's like, feel how hard my cock is, and grabs his hand and puts it on his dick, and they just stand there like, it is just, he just seems like a fun person to be around. And also, He's from The Strangers Pray at Night. Well, I first knew him from Ring, the remake of Ring, but he's in The Strangers Pray at Night. He plays the dad in that, and oh, this man is so fine, especially in Pray at Night. But I love his whole sort of Matthew McConaughey sort of style get up in this movie.
I was fucking wondering where he was from. I just pulled up Strangers Pray at Night right now. And yeah, fuck. I was wondering what he was from. I was like, what other horror movie was he from? Strangers Pray at Night. Thank you so much, because that was fucking. I mean, I could have looked up IMDb, but I mean, thank you.
You don't need it. You got me.
Thank you. I do appreciate that. Good real. Thank you so much for the super chat. Look up Gilbert Gottfried reads 50 Shades. Sorry. Say it for me.
Passed away too.
No, say it for me.
Gilbert Gottfried.
Thank you. Reads 50 Shades on YouTube. I will go ahead and do it. I love how I said Gilbert Gottfried. Oh my fucking! I hate myself so goddamn much.
It's okay.
Legit,
another thing,
I'm the worst human being on this planet.
Another thing I really like in this movie that, we obviously see a lot of, female nudity. And I feel like it's more you see boobs more than anything. But RJ has a scene in the shower where he's fully naked and you can see him. You have that one scene with Jackson when Howard walks up and all you see is the outline of his dick, but he's fully naked and you see his ass. He's walking around there fully naked. And the part with Wayne, whenever Lorraine's looking for RJ, he's wearing whitey tighties, but they're super small underwear for him. So even though there's a lot of female nudity, I feel like there is still a good amount of male nudity too, which again, I feel like that's what makes it feel not weird. Is it's not just a woman out here look at me, boobs. Everyone is naked, which again, I appreciate, because I feel like that's what makes it feel normal, is when everyone is just same playing field. It's not, really outweighing. We don't fully see dick. We do see an outline, and we do. Lorraine was right. That's a big dick. That is big.
Legit. I saw the out. I was like, wait. I was like, at first, I was like, I was like, huh? I was like, wait, am I seeing what I'm seeing right now, or am I just going crazy? Now I'm not going to confirm I'm not going to confirm that it was a big dick. Okay. No, it was a big dick.
It was a big dick. And if that's on soft mode, whoa.
Fucking hanging there.
Literally just hanging there.
No, is there a fucking horse ranch around here? Jesus fuck.
Huge. I was like, shit. So I mean, I don't blame Lorraine. I don't blame her. And she's just curious. They call her Church Mouse, and she's wearing a cross, and she's wearing her little Sunday underwear. You can tell kind of what she probably grew up with, She seems really shy and reserved. And I don't blame her for being curious, because I feel like we all have parts of our lives that are like that, where you're just curious.
That's pretty much how it all starts, is out of curiosity, It's you
exactly,
get
and it's normal.
Yeah. Again, the movie does a great job at just really showcasing, a lot of different slashers, but it also has its own movie in its own rights. And that's what I love so much about it, is that it really is a fun movie. The characters are likable to a degree. The group just seems like a fun group. Honestly, when they were all just kind of sitting around and talking at night, that reminded me a lot of when we were making Haddonfield and Sally. It's we would film our scenes and we would just kind of sit around and bullshit and just talk, and it just what makes it fun, But also at the center of it, it's you've got these characters that are all just trying to get their names out there and get recognized for their work and everything, and then just shit unfortunately hits the fan and it gets cut short. So
yeah. And so another thing that I really liked about the movie, and I guess this is more, it's more towards the end, but we see the whole part with her saying I will not accept a life I do not deserve, to herself in the mirror, which I think is a great affirmation. And I feel like I tell myself that pretty often now. I took that from this movie and I love it. And the part, after Howard has a heart attack and Maxine confronts Pearl with the gun and is like talking to her, and I love whatever, like everything's getting heightened, and you hear the TV saying, "I will not accept a life I do not deserve," and she's saying it too, and I like that she took that from her upbringing and she's using that but in her way, and I thought that was pretty cool. And then gun doesn't go off, Pearl tries to shoot her, misses, and it backfires because she's a frail old woman, so it fucking takes her out. And they're even talking about like divine intervention while on the TV. And then at the very end, it's like divine intervention. Praise the fucking Lord.
Yeah.
I love that shit because she took what she grew up learning, but made it her own, which I think is awesome because I'm sure that would piss them off even more. It's like, oh, I still use that, but I use it for me, not for what y'all are doing.
Yeah. No, I mean, just overall, a great movie. I will say I'd feel like absolute ass if I didn't talk about this scene. And it's like literally the very last moments of Lorraine's life. Like when she like actually gets out of the fucking cellar and she goes, "No, I hate you. Like I'm getting out of here." And then
come here.
As soon as she started running, I'm like, "Oh, this can't be good." Literally, I did not see that coming though. She opened the door and a fucking double barrel shotgun right to the fucking face. Holy shit. I would not feel complete in myself if I didn't talk about that because my jaw was on the fucking ground. I was like, there's no way she's just going to there's no way this camera is just going to leave her running without something happening. And sure enough, a fucking shotgun right to the goddamn face. And you just fucking, you hear Howard, I told her to stay in the goddamn cellar. Like,
goddamn cellar.
I was like, fuck.
Fuck.
It was insane. I love that. I loved it. And that was definitely a great way. I mean, I really also like how, like as I'm kind of giving my closing thoughts here, I want to talk about the beginning. I love like how the beginning, you see the aftermath of some stuff. And I actually did kind of like, I was like looking at the house because like the opening shot is like from the the other house, like from the barn. It's somewhere.
It's the barn because it's like the barn doors. And what I really like about that is you think that's like the ratio.
Yeah.
Because of the barn doors, and then it opens out. I was like, oh, that was fucking cool.
Yeah, it's like, ooh, that's smooth. I like that.
I like that.
So yeah, like it like kind of comes out and reveals like the whole house. It is a pretty extensive shot. It's like a 40-second shot, but I mean it works because it's like you see the police car pulling up, you see like on the house, you see the blood splattered like on like the door frame. I'm like shit.
And said some shit happened here.
Like what the fuck happened here? And then like you see the bodies like all. I was like okay. So I'm like.
Yeah, and usually like I feel like if it's done well, I like a wraparound, but there's some, like for instance, the Pet Sematary remake 2019, that has a wraparound. Did not like it. I did not like it at all because I feel like with that, you know exactly what's going on. Even though like obviously people are going to die, you don't know who is where and you don't know how these people died. I feel like with Pet Sematary, it's like, okay, I kind of know what's all about to fucking happen.
Yeah.
Jennifer's body is sort of like a wraparound. It starts off at the very end with Needy. Well, almost the very end with Needy. And then the whole movie is like her story, like what happened. So I don't always like a wraparound, but when it's done right, which I think this one did it right, I think it can be really cool. You just have to make sure you play it out right. You can't give away everything at the fucking beginning, like Pet Sematary.
Right. Byron, what's going on, man? How are you?
Hi,
Byron also said, at Destiny, X feels like a good Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. I wish X 2022 was a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. I will say, I do think that A24 would be better right holders for Texas Chainsaw than Netflix, for a fucking fact. I mean, if this is the type of horror that A24 is going to be like producing, I mean, I'd honestly be curious to see what they can do maybe with like an original slasher, because I do feel like A24 is that company that is going to get that, like, I feel like horror movies nowadays, like especially slashers, it's like, yeah, we love and adore our iconic 70s and 80s slashers for sure. I feel like that now we're moving to a time to where we need that slasher that's going to come. That's going to be the next generation of slashers. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or that's going to like be the dawn of the next generation of slashers. I mean, I love Michael Myers is my fucking favorite of all time. Like I love him to death, but I feel like we need to start like going towards like maybe something like Michael, but it's like, it's not Michael, not like a ripoff, but like, maybe something that's like unique in its own right. So, I think that's kind of like and I think A24 is going to be the company to do it. It just depends on what project is going to be the one to make that happen, in my opinion. So I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah, we are going to see. Like we got new ones, coming every year. But you got any closing thoughts on X, or have you talked about everything that you kind of want to touch on?
Yeah, I loved it. As of right now, it's still my favorite horror movie of the year. I don't know. I love the movie. And this is like my 5th time watching it, was today. Yeah, I think it's pretty great.
Yeah, I've only seen it once. So, I mean, I'm sure at the end of the year, one of our episodes is going to be the best horror of 2022. I'm like positive, like this too is like, this is like it's on the top of my list for sure. And you haven't seen Nope yet, right? Like you still have to go see that.
Still have to see Nope and The Black Phone.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Black Phone is for a fucking fact on the list. Nope is also on the list. I really do like Nope a lot. Like, I mean, the more I think about it, the more I seem to like it. Like I thought it was good, not great when I first saw it, but it's a movie I have thought about constantly since seeing it. I did really enjoy it. So I'm actually curious and whenever you do see it, maybe the week it comes on Blu-ray or something, like we can do our episode on Nope or whatnot. But I definitely am excited to talk to you about that. So yeah, guys, X it's phenomenal. I don't know if it's streaming on anything right now, but you guys can buy it on Blu-ray. Definitely worth watching. You guys can rent it also, I'm sure. Definitely worth a watch. Very enjoyable. I did say this too, if you're a big slasher fan, I mean, you should pretty much fucking adore this movie. In my opinion, at least. Destiny, shout out to your costume tonight, or your outfit, not costume, your outfit. You just,
I have the top on. I am wearing a top.
And I mean, that's pretty much the exact top that she was wearing too. So like, I mean,
Amazon.
Yeah, exactly. You got it. So
Walmart.
But what are your thoughts coming up here on Pearl? Do you think that's going to probably make your list too? I mean, dude, Ty West, I'm so glad to see he's back into horror. He's fucking killing it right now with these. So I'm excited to see what he does now with this prequel. Maybe I'll watch the trailer tonight. So
yeah, Pearl is definitely now my most anticipated movie, because whenever I watched X and I didn't get to see I saw that little clip because someone had posted the clip. I didn't get to see it in theaters because for some theaters at the very end, it showed the trailer, like a little snippet of the trailer for Pearl. And it was kind of like a surprise sort of thing, because they had shot and they filmed X. And then while there, Ty West had this idea for Pearl. And so him and Mia Goth stayed back. And then they did Pearl, which I just think is so freaking incredible. And I watched the trailer twice now, I think, and it just looks so good. It looks different. It doesn't have the same vibe that X does, because X feels very 70s, like the time period it's set in. And then this one, it just feels different, and it's shot different, and it doesn't feel as like warm, I guess. I feel like X feels like a really hot movie, Texas, but Pearl it almost feels more like a springtime movie in a way, like the way all the colors of it. But Pearl looks like it's going to be really good. I'm really excited for Pearl. It's my next most anticipated movie because I love X so much.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of horror up and coming, I mean, September, I'm definitely excited for Pearl. I'm glad that, we get Pearl, and then, so we got that coming up in September, and then October's the fucking big one. We got Michael Myers, baby, mid-October. So it's they're a month apart from each other. So that's getting me excited. So definitely, I mean, horror is unfortunately coming to a close this year. We're coming down to the latter half of the year. when it comes down to, we're going to put our list together and see which one is going to make the best and maybe the worst of the year. There's some originals actually I do want to check out on Shudder still this year that actually might make the list too. Because it's always fun at the end of the year to have to try and like put together, like, we're not going to do a top 5. I think we'll do a top 10 at the end of the year for like horror, let's showcase like some more than just the top. It's hard to do top 5. I could do top 10. 5 is always the hardest ones to do.
Yeah. 10's easier to work with. But
I definitely do anticipate X to stay there for sure. So yeah, guys, what do you guys think of X, man? Do you guys love this? Do you guys hate it? Where do you guys kind of think about X? If you guys are listening to this in the future, leave comments. Let us know what you guys think. Chat, you guys were absolutely fucking awesome tonight. As always, thank you guys so much for being such a great group of listeners and viewers. And if you guys are listening on Spotify and iTunes in the future, thank you guys so much for being here. We're glad that you guys are enjoying the show. I don't know how the fuck my target reached for my steps when I've been sitting down like this. Like, is there something wrong with my watch? Like, is it because I've like been like doing? Probably because
you're moving. Cheater.
Right. I mean, hey, it works, I guess. But this is the first time this has happened in a while. So like one time I was like driving and like I was like leaning my like head on like my wrist and I saw my watch light up. And then I was like looking at it and like the steps were counting like as I was driving. I was like, huh? I'm like, isn't there like supposed to be like this thing in the watch to where it could feel like when like you're walking? And yeah, so
it's like whenever you would play Just Dance with the Wii and you don't have to fully dance. You can just like move it and it counts, Yeah. But if you get Wii Connect full body, which I love, I fucking loved Just Dance. That was my shit.
That was, I mean, Just Dance was awesome. I can't even lie. Like, I mean, I definitely had a lot of fun doing it, like with the Wii.
It was usually just me. My mom was at work, and I was like, dancing. Same thing. Oh my god, I used to play Guitar Hero.
Oh, same.
For the Nintendo DS, so you would like hold it, and it was just, oh my god, I was good. That's probably why I like. Probably gonna get arthritis super young because I was always playing. I was really good. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
And I fucking miss that, and I think about it almost every day. I should just buy a Nintendo DS and fucking get Guitar Hero.
No, I mean I played it. I mean I played Guitar Hero, but I played it like for like my Xbox and for like the Wii. I actually had it for like the Wii. I would like use the guitar. I remember when my mom bought me Guitar Hero 3, like when that was like big. Oh my god, I fucking loved it. And I mean, like, that's like a huge inspiration for me because, like, the 80s rock is like my fucking favorite, like, music, period. Like, if you ever drive with me, my whole playlist is fucking like, and my playlist is, y'all can look it up on Spotify, Braden's Awesome-tastic Mix. So, I mean, that's what it's called. Or Braden's Awesome-tacular Mix or whatever the fuck it's called.
My Spotify is, I don't know, destlfaulker.
Destiny Faulkner.
I don't even have, my only playlist I have is a Stranger Things playlist, and it's just my favorite songs that I've taken from the Stranger Things playlist, so I can listen to specifically those all the time.
Oh boy.
But other than that, it's just all my liked music, and you can see what I listen to.
There you go, guys.
It's kind of all over the place.
Yeah, I know. So is mine. Like honestly, like I've got like movie stuff on there. I've got
movie
like
stuff.
regular stuff. I listen to a lot of movie soundtracks, like when I'm writing scripts and stuff, just because like I want to get into like the mindset of a mood and everything. But yeah, guys. So Destiny, what you got up and coming this week? What do we got up and coming here for the remainder of the week?
The Friday the fuck.
The Friday the
the Halloween trivia stream where I'll be moderating.
This upcoming Friday, everyone, on Good Real Hunting's channel. That's 2 nights, 48 hours. Don't fucking miss it. I'm gonna be lit for it. So I mean, feel free to grab drinks, grab popcorn.
I'm going to.
Let's freaking go, because I mean, this is going to be fun. We got a full stream. We got 2 teams. We got yours truly, Destiny, moderating this Friday night. Going to be so much fun. I'm actually so excited that this is the first time I'm going to be on Good Reel's channel. It's going to be an honor. I mean, I'm going to hopefully take my team's going to take the grand jewel. Honestly, we should find a trophy on Amazon and get it made for, you can make it for like $15 and we should send it to the team that wins. And we should do it every year. We should do a new slasher stream trivia and see who takes it.
I'm really excited because I try to not just ask like the normal questions. And some of these are going to be a little bit out there. And I'm ready. I'm so ready. I'm
amped. Bacon, what's going on, man? Welcome in.
Hey, Bacon.
Welcome in. I'm sad that we're just wrapping up here. Like this, I feel like the second night that's happened. He's come in and we've been wrapping up. But we are talking about what we have up and coming. But I just think that this is going to be so much fun. So Friday night, be there, guys. It's going to be an absolute blast. You're going to get pretty much round 2 of Fear Freaks, but with a bunch of other individuals. And it's just going to be a lot of fun. And then tomorrow on my channel, got the kill ranking coming for Halloween 2. So I'm excited about that. Still haven't filmed it, so I'm going to film that tonight. I know I'm such a freaking lazy people. Destiny's like, wow. Still haven't done your work, huh? Nope. But I'm what we call a procrastinator. But I was that in college. But I would always actually get the work done.
That's me.
It would be actually of good quality. So
absolutely.
Every time. I feel like that it's just like that adrenaline push. It's like, you're like sitting there, you just like inject yourself with caffeine, and you're just like, let's fucking go. Yeah. So that's what works for me. That's pretty much what that's what's gonna happen here probably tonight. So he said, hey dude, don't even be sorry, man. I mean, we love that you stop in and say hi. So I totally get it, man. We all work, we've all been there. So but yeah, guys, look forward to this Friday night. That's pretty much the biggest thing coming this week. And then next week, I'm not really sure what we're talking about right now yet, but I will post it on social media once we get that confirmed. Anything else, Destiny?
Nope.
Alrighty, guys. Well, hey, thank you guys so much for being, again, great as always. Look forward to more videos very soon. And guys, we're getting close to that 10,000 subscriber mark. So if you guys are new here, don't forget to join us on this journey to 10,000 subscribers. And we will see you guys next week on Fear Freaks. Have a great week, guys.
Bye.